2023 TV shows. So now here's the thing. These were so many shows that I really enjoyed. They were a lot of shows that it was just really hard to pick and to rank these things because I like these shows for different reasons. So, like, for example, when I tell y'all don't go completely off of a rating, one show might be an 8 out of 10 and another one might be an 8 out of 10, but they could be 8 out of 10s for completely different reasons. And it might depend on what day I feel like liking this show or not, so don't really take this order. I'm just saying what I liked, what I enjoyed from 2023, and that's just pretty much where I'm gonna go with it. But let's see, which show can we start off with? You know what, let's go with this one. And this was one that I did enjoy. It was Succession, and it was the final season 4, I believe. And this came on HBO Max, and I thought that this was a really, really solid show in terms of the acting. The writing definitely felt authentic. I mean, I definitely started to connect with a lot of the characters, even though I couldn't stand a lot of them. The children were definitely getting on my nerves for different reasons. But Brian Cox, the old guy, he basically was like, he was definitely the linchpin of the entire show. Had a really, really good time watching this. And I was a little bit, I mean, the ending was interesting, but like there were certain creative decisions in the show that like I was like, yeah, this is how y'all going, this is the direction you gonna take this character, this is what you gonna have them do out of nowhere, so like there were a couple things that I was kind of like, I don't know what y'all doing with this, but overall I did enjoy the show and I thought it was pretty solid as a whole. The next one, I was sleep on this until I think I don't know who it was that brought it to my attention, but I was very happy that I stuck with it. And that is The Bear. This was on Hulu and FX. Now, The Bear was definitely something I did not see coming. I mean, I'm not even like a cooking show kind of guy, right? But this show definitely started to grow on me. And man, when we got to season 2, when we got to the family dinner, yikes, that was good acting, that was good writing, that was solid. So overall, I love The Bear. It was just one of those shows I didn't have high expectations for. I knew people were talking about it, and it just didn't register to me like how good it would be, but my God, it was solid. And I had a very, very good time with it. Next up, we have a show that we covered. We talked about this, and I gotta say, Ahsoka was the Star Wars show that I was looking for all this time, and I had such a great time with this show. I know this thing right here. They gave us the lightsabers, they gave us the Force, they gave us characters, they gave us development. I mean, talk about character development, specifically Ahsoka. She ain't that little Padawan that we grew up with Clone Wars. Like, she done grew up. She's somebody else. She's learning her ins and outs. She a whole master now. Loved it. Listen, love me some Rosario Dawson. You know what I'm saying? So this was a match made in heaven in terms of what they did. The only issue I had was, why did they have to take her headband off? Okay, that still freaks me out. It still bothers me that they took her headband. I was like, why? I didn't want to see her hairline. You know what I'm saying? We ain't have to see the lace front hairline. It was weird. It's still weird. But outside of that, everything else was cool. Definitely like how they ended it, at least leading up to the next season. Got me interested. I'm here for it. So yeah, that was definitely something I enjoyed. Next up was based off of a very popular video game that I was too scary, still am too scary to play, and that is The Last of Us on HBO. So The Last of Us, Pedro Pascal, Bella Ramsey. Now this show, I think, was definitely one of the best, most faithful adaptations from a video game. And this right here definitely had me going, Again, I have not played the video games, but I've watched gameplay and I've watched like the cinematic stuff. So I'm pretty familiar with what's going on at this point. But by the time the show was going on, I wanted to let the show kind of tell the story for me. So I kind of held off on some things just to see where the story was going. And my goodness, there were so many things that I was not expecting. Gosh, what was it? It was the gay couple, Frank and I forget the other guy's name. Maybe I got them all mixed up. But that story, my gosh, that felt like it was Emmy award winning, and I think it did get nominated just for that episode. But my goodness, The Last of Us was dope. The clickers definitely scary. I could not. I don't know how y'all do it. Some of y'all out there playing the game, like E-Man, play the game. I'm like, why do y'all like stress? Y'all like high blood pressure? Y'all like anxiety? Y'all like that? Listen. I was looking at them things on the video games and all that, and in the TV show. No thanks, no thanks. Nah, man, you can't even kill them things on one shot. Nah, G, nah, that's a pass for me. So, but anyway, what the show did, fantastic. The show did it. It was wonderful. And I know the direction that it might be going in for season 2. And I'm like, how y'all gonna make that work? So I do know what's gonna happen. I have played the games. I'm not gonna spoil it for nobody, but I don't know how they're gonna make that work. But either way, fantastic show, great writing overall, loved it. Let's see, what else do we have? You know what? I don't think we talked about this, and that was my fault because this is a guilty pleasure that my wife and I like to watch, together. But y'all, I love me some You. I don't know if you've seen it or not, but You on Netflix is one of my favorite shows because this man right here is a menace. Okay, this man, Joe Goldberg, is an entire problem, and he is not only a national problem, he is now an international problem. Okay, this dude right here, I don't know whether to root for Joe or whether to boo him. Like it's one of those things where like this is just really, really good character development and good writing because this is not a good guy. Okay, he's not a good guy, but because he's the main antagonist, because he's the main character, you almost kind of sort of feel like you got to root for him. You be like, yeah, man, go ahead, Joe, go ahead and stalk that girl. She is you. Like, and I mean, if you watch the show, you know what I'm talking about. This is a whole stalker, but this dude got some problems. Okay, the man, and then season 4 took it to another level. Okay, my man got some mental health issues beyond comprehension. Okay, and I love the fact that they took it to another level. I love the fact that this show just continues to find a way to give unique storytelling, and this time, I have to say, I did not see a lot of the twists and turns coming. There were certain things I was like, okay, I know what y'all doing. I know. And then I was like, oh, well, that was a big reveal that I just blew me away. So season 4 of You was on point. I loved it. And that right there is definitely one of my favorite shows that, once again, I didn't see it coming. When they first announced it, they was like, hey, here's a show about a stalker. And I'm like, what? They got it. They did it. So I like it. Let's see. Here's another. Oh, this is more recent. And again, we probably should have covered this, but just didn't have time. It was too much stuff going on. But y'all, Gen V. Woo-wee! Gen V on Amazon Prime. That show right there definitely lived up to its predecessor, which was The Boys. So The Boys, in case you don't know, that's the superhero drama on Amazon as well. And this was all a spinoff based off of that same universe. And I had no idea that all of these people, complete no names. I've never seen most of these actors at all. And they all stepped up because the writing and the performances elevated everything else. It didn't matter if there was somebody in there that you knew or not. The story was good. They still find a way to gross you out. I don't know how, but they still find a way to gross you out in this show. Okay, like my man who had the certain compulsion. Every time he see the every time he see what it's a compulsion, you know, the fact that they I can't even describe some of the things that the show has done because it might get me kicked off of YouTube. That's how outlandish this show is. I don't know how they keep finding that line and they just kick that line and say, forget this line. Okay, forget it. But man, that was satisfying. The ending was fantastic. This was a great way to show how spin-offs should be, right? You live in a world, you're not really completely dependent on the main story arc. Yeah, you reference it here and there, little tidbits. But when it's done, you're also setting up the next series. Great work. Perfect stuff. I loved it. Absolutely enjoyed it. That was definitely one of my favorites for sure. Next up is something y'all know I have raved about this show. I had no idea it was gonna be this good, but man, oh man, Blueeyed Samurai on Netflix. Yo, this probably was one of my favorite animations of all of 2023 for a TV series. This show was it just blew me out of the water. Like, I had no idea the writing was going to be impeccable. You got the main character doing their thing. I don't even know if I posted my review. I probably need to post it again. But my goodness, this was such a pleasant surprise on Netflix. It had no business being as good as it was. And I mean, the violence, the story, the character development, I mean, the relationships with even the side characters. I was just sitting here like, yo, I'm invested with every episode. I don't even think there was any bad episodes. And on top of that, it only got better as you got closer. The more we got to the end, the closer we got to the end, this thing started saying, you thought you knew action. You thought you saw Kill Bill. You thought you knew John Wick. We gonna put it all together. And I was like, yo, y'all got it. Y'all got it. Y'all sold me. So Blueeyed Samurai was absolutely one of my favorites as well for 2023. Let's see. Next up, we do have something that we also covered. And this was kind of a favorite even before this year, and that is Loki season 2. Now, I wouldn't say that this had as much action as the previous ones or anything like that, but you know what? With this show could be summarized, I would say it's the epitome of character development. This whole show took its time, not only to tell you about the multiverse and all of that, but dang it, we got a Loki that we have never ever anticipated we would ever see. And that is the beauty of storytelling in television or episodic formats. Because this Loki, if y'all go back and think about where this Loki came from, trying to conquer Asgard, trying to conquer Midgard, trying to, beat up the Avengers and all of that, then getting thrown into TVA and being, going through his whole breaking down. They deconstructed his character in season 1. And then this time around, my man just said, yo, I just don't want to be alone. Woo! Who don't want to be alone? Which one of y'all don't want to be alone? Don't nobody want to just be alone forever? And this guy said, you know what? Sacrifice. So yes, Loki season 2 to me is one of the best. I think I did put it as my best series, especially on Disney Plus, especially in the MCU. This was just fantastic. Tom Hiddleston did his thing. You know, and this was absolutely one of the best shows for 2023. Another show that I absolutely loved on Netflix is Beef. Beef is you got Ali Wong and Stephen Young. This was a show that I don't think it definitely caught me by surprise. And once again, those are the best shows when they catch you off guard like this. But what I absolutely loved with Beef is the fact that the writing was so on point. I mean, you could watch this show and like the things that happen in episode 3, it could be like one line and it'll have such a big impact in episode 8 or something like that, you know. The actors were definitely on point. The fact that they kept finding a way to escalate this beef, this all started with just a straight up, little road rage incident that I think any one of us could have. Anybody could have this. But the fact that they went from this to 100 was a whole nother story. And the fact that they was able to do this in an interesting and captivating fashion, Beef was absolutely on my list for one of the best shows of 2023. Last but not least, and y'all should know this by now, this was definitely something I've covered extensively. Matter of fact, I still need to make more videos for this too. But if you have not been a part of the Fromily, I don't know what to tell you, because from season 2, woo, talk about stress, talk about anxiety, talk about great performances. Got my man Harold Perrineau in there doing his thing. I still think he needs to be Emmy nominated. You see Creepy Smiley in the background as well. But this show has definitely had me from day one. The moment I started shout out to Rhonda and shout out to everyone else that put me on From. Absolutely one of the best TV shows that not enough people are talking about. And I will continue to put in all my efforts to make sure y'all watching this show because it's just so fun. It comes from the same creative team, I want to say, that was behind Lost. And the writing I really, really enjoy. Listen, there's a lot of frustration with this show, though. Okay, one of the frustrations is you ain't gonna get all the answers. You're gonna get some answers, but then you're gonna get more problems, and then you're gonna get more questions. So the hope with this show is that at some point they will finally just give some answers and we can figure it all out. But I'm still a little curious because I'm like, part of the fun is the mystery. And if we get the answers, is it no longer fun? I don't know. But the way season 2 left us, I definitely got I'm more excited now. That definitely left me on a good note. So I was very, very excited for this season. Especially with all the things. And of course, if you go watch my theory videos and my breakdown videos, I think that they were giving us a lot more stuff than we bargained for. But yes, from season 1 and 2, was absolutely one of my favorite things from 2023. But anyway, guys, that is all I have for this whole top 2023 TV shows. I see some people are being real funny because they wanted this show to make it, but of course it did not make my 2023 list for whatever reason. But I will say that I have made the commitment. I did make the promise. I didn't forget, but I will do my best to finish this show because I'm a sucker for punishment. So Twisted Metal is not going to make the list, but I will make an effort to finish it at some point. So you guys let me know, what did you enjoy in 2023? How did you feel about the list that I gave you? Were there any shows on there that maybe I missed? Was there any shows that maybe should have been on the list? Whatever you think, please let me know in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. This was just a segment of one of my live chats, and if you're interested in joining in on the next one, be sure to subscribe and turn on your notifications for more. I've got more videos and reviews to do for you all, and until next time, I'll see you all later.